My craft room today doesn't look like it did 10 years ago or even a year ago, and next year it'll probably have changed again. I can't wait to see what's coming next. And we all know what came next, don't we? As we just saw, I shared my last craft room tour video in January 2020, just before the world changed. If you haven't seen it, I'll put a link below. Today's video is going to focus on a few of the more significant changes I've made in my craft room since then. I've downsized quite a bit, so stick around and I'll show you what I got rid of. The biggest physical change to my space has to be my Zoom corner. In March 2020, when we were all confined to the house and most human contact happened through Zoom or other online platforms, it quickly made sense for me to have my computer right on my desk in my craft room. To do that, I removed my second cubby to create some space in that back corner, and I set up my laptop with a larger monitor, which really helps when I'm editing videos. I bought an extra phone mount so that I didn't have to try and move everything in and out from behind the monitor when I'm on a call. This also meant changing my chair to one that swivels so that I can switch between my work surface and my computer. Turns out this one, which was in my dad's office 20 years ago or more, isn't that comfortable. But I want to be able to sit in one before I buy it, so that's on my to-do list. The next biggest change was this desk. I used to have an Alex unit here, which gave me lots of storage, but it also cut off all the airflow from my vent, which made it very cold in here in the winter and super hot in the summer. I still have my trusty old Dale trimmer here on top, and the drawer is now for paper scraps, sorted by white, other neutrals, and colors. These two changes meant losing a lot of my storage space, so the rest of my change is mostly related to adjusting to that. And during this, I realized some hard truths about the kind of crafter I am. I like to have my stuff visible for the most part, rather than put away, but if there's too much stuff, I actually start to feel claustrophobic and I become less creative. Figuring this out allowed me to really focus on building the ideal craft room for me, at least for now, and basically anything I don't use on a regular basis is no longer in my room. Let's look at my cubby. The biggest change here is the switch from the blending brushes with handles to these smaller ones from Altenew. I feel like I have more control with these, and they certainly take up less space. I store them in an acrylic drawer on top of my mini inks. I also moved my Copics up and I allocated them a smaller space, so now it's easier for me to reach the things on the bottom row of the cubby, my acrylic blocks, my masking supplies, and pre-cut card panels. This drawer used to be hidden behind my desk organizer, but now it contains card bases that are pre-cut and scored, and so those are easy to reach. Up above, I ended up getting another ink organizer for my Catherine Pooler inks. Now I have them sorted by color family, with the bright, vibrant party colors in one organizer and the more muted spa colors in the other. And there's lots of room to grow. Let's move to my desktop. Putting the computer in the corner also meant moving my Gemini to the other side. I've put it on a little turntable that I had already, and that makes it so much easier to use. I just turn it rather than having to reach around to the back, and I put my extra plates and my most used dies into the Alex drawer closest to it. I changed the spinning organizer for this static one. It fits on the riser, so that saves me some desk space, and it holds just as much stuff. Both my Misties, my Gemini plates, and my most used tools like scissors, craft picks, pens, stamp cleaners. And just above the organizer, I have two command hooks that I hang my square and circle dies from. These are the dies I reach for the most, and I use a binder ring to hang them, and that makes them easy to find the size I'm looking for. Now that I'm down to only one Alex unit, here's what's in it. The top drawer now has my Gemini stuff, extra plates and shims, and here in front my other nesting dies that I use quite a bit. The second drawer is still my embossing powders, but this third drawer is new. This is where I keep my gel presses. I have a few of them in different sizes, and I keep my favorite 5x7 inch one on a silicone mat on this cheap plastic tray, so it's ready to go. My brayers are all in here as well. This next drawer has also changed significantly. I use these essential oil dividers to store my ink refills. I used to have domed blenders in this drawer as well, but since I wasn't using them as much, now I just have the refills in here with a few handles and the domes underneath, just in case. The next drawer has all my work surfaces, my larger workstation, water media mat, and glass mat, as well as my Stencils 360 base, which I've attached to a mat, again just to make it easier to take it out to use it. And my last drawer is empty. On my shelves, I've also reduced the clutter quite a bit by cleaning off that top shelf. This is the background when I do my camera-facing parts of the video, so I want it to be clean and tidy looking. I've added my magnetic ink swatchboard, which I found to be really useful when deciding on color combinations. I've linked the video below showing why and how I made it if you're interested. In the corner I have these little drawers for upcoming projects with new products and any work in progress cards. I've moved my stamps and dies from fridge bins back into an old drawer system. This plastic set of drawers holds about 500 or more sets in it, and that is plenty of space. Stamps and dies are really the area that I destash the most, keeping only the ones I really love, and I still have plenty. My stencils are stored in pockets in this plastic container, and I have a full video about why I use this and not a binder. I'll link that below as well for you if you want to know more. One thing I've never found a solution for that I'm 100% happy with is paper storage. I tried the job ticket holders, but now that I don't really have much colored cardstock, I also tried these paper holders from an office store, but they aren't big enough to hold a full ream of cardstock. So now I have my most used papers, white for panel and card bases, in these large magazine holders, and my specialty cardstock like vellum, mirror card, glitter cardstock in these drawers, which makes sense because I already had the drawers, but it still doesn't feel quite perfect. Know what I mean? It looks like I still have a ton of stuff in here, so I'm sure you're wondering what I got rid of. Lots of stamps and dies, as I said earlier, the vast majority of pastes and other messy things, and my foiling systems. Because another discovery that I made is that I'm a pretty lazy crafter. If I have to get it out and set it up and crawl under my desk to plug it in, I probably won't use it. And if it's messy, I also don't use it much because I don't want to have to clean it up. I also got rid of the vast majority of my colored cardstock and my patterned paper. It's great to have some on hand for quick cards, but mostly I prefer making my own custom patterns if that's the look I'm going for. So I think I've found the balance of enough but not too much stuff, and I know that that balance will be different for you. Reducing what I have in here has really helped me to limit the stress of taking care of it and organizing it all the time, and it also means that I'm being more careful about what I'm buying. I love it when I can use what I already have to get the look without having to buy the new products. It's as easy as limes, and if that interests you, here's my playlist showing how I get the look. I'll meet you there. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.